Yes, good evening. I'd like to present to you this evening my audio system. In the background, as you can see, I have my amplifier on. It's a stereo tube amplifier made by Monarch. It's a SA-40 integrated tube amp with a solid state tuner underneath, as you can see at the bottom of the amp, patched into my headphones that I have on, my wireless sets that are in the back, with my turntable, which is a BSR. It's one of the El Cheapo turntables that came out of a console unit that I had years ago, and decided to use it as a component turntable, which works decent. It's got little issues with some grounding, which I had to figure out how to fix. Over to the left of the turntable and the headphone is my butchered speaker grill KLH Model 6. Now these speakers here, I for some reason can't get to the internal components that I need to look at, or at least possibly upgrade or repair later on. So my only probably best alternative is to butcher the grill cloth and perhaps get into the inside by prying open the front baffle, and hopefully that'll let me in. We'll see this weekend how that goes. Yep, and I have a 8-track. Yes, I still use 8-tracks. Not on a regular basis, but I have some 8-tracks and I have a player to play it with, so be it. And to the left of that is my speaker slash amp selector switch. So if I want to compare two speakers to an amp, or two amps to one speaker, just simply flick the switch between the two sources and voila, instant switch. You can even mute the sound off a bit by selecting the selector switch to the center position, which cuts off both amps or both speakers, however you set this thing up. So I'm going to leave it at speaker A for now, since I have the Monarch Tube amp connected to amp A, or speaker jack A, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now on to the Monarch Tube amplifier. Yeah, Monarch Tube amplifier. This has been a project for me for about a year now. The reason why it took so long to get it done is because of finances. I had to budget my money accordingly, as well as take care of some other personal expenses at the same time, which can, make or break a project that you're working on. So it took me a while to get it fixed, so to speak. But it's in work in progress. I just need to detail some other things with the phono and tape inputs on this thing. I need to figure out why is it off balance, why when I play a tape I get this annoying hissing sound on the channels and this gurgle up sound. So it could be something related to the capacitors I didn't replace. Who knows what it is? But eventually I'll get to that when I get some time and some extra cash. As you can see in the far back of this amp is the cam caps that I've replaced. The zoom's not all that great on this camera, but oh well. I used 3 cans to mimic or replace the old multi-session caps that were once installed in here, which I had 2 of them, 2 big can caps. But the problem I was having with the old caps, they started to, I hear like crackling, popping sounds through my system, through the speakers, and I didn't want to damage the tweeters, because these speakers are pretty old and parts are hard to find on them. So I like to keep it as original, as close to the original as possible, without butchering it or manufacturing or re-engineering the speaker like I did with this amp here with the can caps. But to each his own, right? And that's about it. The tubes run pretty good. They glow at its correct temperature. I mean, it doesn't overheat. I haven't had issues with overheating yet. Well, one, because I'm operating without the cover, which could add to the cooling, but I had to figure out some way to keep this amp cool with the cover on. So I might need a fan or something. Maybe you folks could help me out on that. Well, there's nothing else I can present to you at this time. I know I have some other gear I could probably present in another future upcoming videos, but I gotta clean up this damn room. That's the problem. It's a mess in my standards. But I've seen worse, so oh well. Hope you liked my presentation. Have a good evening and a good night. Take care.